Hi everyone, today we climbed the ancient mountain in Kosuge in the Ian town of Nagano Prefecture. So this place has a history going back to at least 1,000 years or more. And back in heydays, there used to be about 300 training Buddhists, or the mountain ascetic Buddhists called Shugendo, people living here, training in this mountain. And this mountain was considered to be quite sacred. The founder of this Shugendo branch of Buddhism, or Shinto and Buddhist syncretic religion, found this mountain to be extremely holy and sacred. So he decided to open up this place for monks training. And today we climbed into this mountain. So for this is an old map of this area, so you may not see it that well, but basically there's a gate here, or let's say Toriyi, and we go through here, and we go all the way up to this point, where we call Okusha, which is like the main kind of shrine dedicated to the mountain spirits or the gods that dwell in here. And it took us about roughly around 40 minutes or more. But if you go fast enough, you can actually climb it in like 25 minutes. You can walk fast pace. So it's not such a huge climb, but it's pretty substantial. It goes pretty steep as well. So yeah, and we would like to discuss about.
So John, long time.
Yeah.
What is the last time? Was it autumn, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's been a while.
Today we just visit Kosuge, which is in Nagano Prefecture. We was like, what we heard is like pretty sacred like place. Like some people say it's a spiritual point, it's a power spot or something like this. What is your thought?
Well, basically, the mountain is Mount Kosuge,
Yeah.
which is located in the Nagano Prefecture, a place called Iyama.
Yeah.
And it's known to be like a sacred mountain.
How
Well,
sacred that?
This mountain is sacred, especially for those who practice Shugendo, which is like Japanese form of religion, and syncretizing Shinto and Buddhist kind of belief. Well, their practice is to actually go into these kind of mountains, like the holy mountains, and to train and meditate and train there. So it's been known to happen for a long time. And Kosuge, Mount Kosuge is supposed to be Nagano Prefecture's one of the top 3 in the holy and sacred places for Shugendo practitioners to come and train. I mean, in recent years, not many people have come here due to declining practitioners of Shugendo. Well, they do occasionally come here to visit, when there is an event like a festival or something. They do come here. In the other places, you have Tobakushi.
Yeah.
I think most of them. Then you have Izuna Mountain, because they're in a close proximity, so that I think more people visit there than here. But some people reckon that there's actually more power here in Kosuge.
Yeah.
Well, granted, Tobakushi is pretty powerful as well.
From a point of view, how do you feel like when you climb up? You've been like 40 times here, right?
Exactly. One thing, I'm a freaking climber of this place. Well, one thing for sure, whenever I climb here or come around here, I feel much more at peace and still.
Well, it's like really quiet, wasn't it? Just like
Yeah.
we heard like rain and like just like waterfall.
And as soon as you enter into that mountain, you can kind of sense that everything becomes quieter.
Yeah.
Like for sure.
Yeah.
Like, well, I mean, we've known that in the kind of spiritual kind of side, stillness or silence is a very sacred kind of
It was
moment.
like
as well.
foggy, and it was like it's kind of like you feel like you entered a fantasy world or something.
Yeah, today's weather was like raining. At the same time, mist was coming out as well.
Yeah.
So it kind of gave that kind of like surreal kind of like atmosphere, like even like mystical kind of atmosphere.
Yeah.
In the mountain, and yeah, that was pretty amazing. Well, I mean, this was the second time, right?
Yeah, it's my second time.
Well, how did you feel about this time?
Well, it's like first of all, it was like kind of like it's actually the mountain itself is like quite steep though. So just like the first round when I did it's like more mountain climbing. The second today is I felt like a more just like enjoying like a more is atmosphere or like so the sound of rain or something like this. It's just like every time like more go I find like discover like a lot of things. We found that like a lot of the rocks with a sign. What was that rocks? There's like a Sinokara. I don't know what is a Sinokara, but do
Yeah. Well, accordingly, like in this mountain, what's quite interesting about this mountain is that route to get to the actual main shrine or temple at the top. There are different kind of like locations.
yeah, it's like
Like
it's
visit.
more relates on like Buddhism, like hell and heaven kind of thing.
Yeah. So they have different spots. And they have like a stone that's shaped like a ship, and
Yeah.
there are places like kind of like shaped like the Sansus River, which is like the kind of like what do you call it? The river you cross in the underworld.
Yeah.
In
So
the
it's
Buddhist-
Sinokara.
Yeah, so yeah, from looking at these kind of different locations kind of thing, I think people back in those days, the Shugendo practitioners, have intentionally made those places to reflect their own Buddhist cosmology. Okay? So you have a road that you can cross over the Sanokara, and there's a earth stone Bodhisattva, what we would call it Jizo-Bosatsu.
Yeah.
I mean, very famous, very popular kind of Buddhist, Bodhisattva in Japan. And it's pretty much everywhere you go. And then you have the Fudomyo, which is like, or in Sanskrit, the Chala. It's not such a huge. They don't have such a huge following outside of Japan in certain parts of Tibet and China, but Japan's really like fond of actually have a he's a very famous kind of like a popular figure in Japan, in Japanese spirituality as well, especially when it comes to Buddhism. And yeah, so we saw that there's actually like a stone statue on top of the cliff.
Yeah, it was actually really like hard to find out. It took like 5 minutes, like finding friends.
Oh, granted, I've climbed it quite a few times, and like it's only recently I've actually discovered there's actually a stone monument to Dedicate Acharya of Domyo. And the interesting thing is what they did was now the stone, they put it deliberately on top of a cliff. But, because Acharya or Fudomyo was always being depicted as being on top of rocks, as you can see.
Yeah.
Right.
Can I just?
Yeah, so this is the Fudomyo or Acharya. But can you see with this deity specifically, he's sitting on a rock and everything. So it was quite a nice, interesting touch one they did. It was on top of a cliff, which is on a rock, and they put this actual deity on top of that. So yeah, I thought this was done quite tastefully and thing in their mind.
We also find a frog, like shape almost.
Exactly, there was an interesting one where there was like a rock that looked like a frog. Yeah, it's shaped like a frog, and they associated, or they called it like Kaiishi,
Yeah.
frog stone from frog rock. And so they saw, basically, with these practitioners or people in general, they saw spirits of gods everywhere. So the main shrine or the temple was quite interesting as well, in the sense that the actual shrine is built in a way that is enclosing the huge outcrop of the rock formation. So what they believe that the actual rock has a divine spirit or kami, and they basically, that place became a form of worship there. So you can say there's like the genius loci, or like the actual main deity on the mountain that dwell in that rock formation. So they built a temple or shrine encasing that rock. And there's a water running out from that rock formation as well. As you can see, with this big rock formation that's protruding out like this. And this building, which is like the Shinto shrine, is actually built to encase inside the rock, because it's believed that spirits and God actually dwells in here. So they venerate this rock as part of the faith. And I've heard rumors that like the water that comes out of here in this rock is considered to be extremely sacred and holy. So they use, or I guess you can use it for healing and all that kind of. Yeah. What can I say? I mean, this place is just, if you're seeking for something more powerful and kind of spiritual, this is a really good place to come.
Yeah, it's not far away from the Shinkansen station, Iyama station.
Yeah.
It's actually quite a hidden place. If you know the place name called Noza Onsen, it's actually really famous for like skiing, snowboarding, it's like really good snow. It's just right next to that village, just like 10 minutes by car. It's a pretty hidden place, so it's not like touristic place, it's just like normal, ordinary, small village.
More kind of hidden, kind of like a mountain village.
Yeah.
That has a history of these Shugendo practitioners being here and practicing, so, you know what I mean?
There is also event, right? It's like 21st of May. It's like
July, I think. June, July, somewhere.
Yeah.
I'm not too sure, but
you can experience the Shugendo's like practice.
oh yeah. So there is like a kind of Shugendo, like a course or experience you can have on this mountain as well. There's one coming up on May, I think.
Yeah,
21st.
it's 21st of May and the next one's July, and we definitely will join you.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
see you next time.
Yeah, see you, man.
Bye.
Thank you for listening.
Thank you.
Bye.